Let us see what we get first off tonight. Felix the Cat on Game Boy. Yeah, this actually may not be too bad. I think it's a pretty good game. Of course, that depends on if it is like the NES version or not. I suppose we'll find out in a moment. So far, it looks like it will be with and then again, maybe not. But still, it is a platformer. It is Felix the Cat. It is giant black spaces for not very obvious reasons. What is going on with that, game developers? Couldn't just have the thing disappear, it had to go to a black space? Oh, well then. That's actually... Oh. Well, I thought that the hearts would be health meters, so I could take a few risks, but no. Guess not. But yeah, Felix the Cat, a cartoon icon of the early years of cartoons. Mostly 30s, 40s, and 50s, I believe, in that era. And then suddenly in the early 90s, there was, like, so many other things that, you know, was popular way back when, got a revival. I believe there was another Felix cartoon series. There was a Felix the Cat movie, which was some dozen kinds of terrible. And so I guess the hearts are just a timer for each different power. Interesting. If I'm remembering correctly, I should be able to get further power-ups, which will change to other things. So yes, this is actually very... This is very apparently. Very similar to the NES game, then. So yeah, this should actually be a thing we can accomplish. A thing we won't have to, you know, abandon after a stage or two. It's reasonably doable. I have to take a moment to read the chat. We're good again. Oh hey, and now we are a tank. This is Felix the Cat on Game Boy. Yeah, question came up in chat. I'm not just randomly saying that for the sake of it. Yeah, now we are Tank Felix. As we collect further and further hearts, we will continue along this little parade of different vehicles and power-ups. I know there's a plane in there somewhere, although... I'm trying to remember this. Do we go back one? Yes. Okay, so hits taken send us back a form, which is nice. It could very well have just sent us back to normal Felix and had us start all over again, but yeah. And once we reach whatever the end of the line is, we will be staying there and probably not going into any further magic bags. Because that's really all there is. We may find 1-ups in various Felix heads that give us stuff, but yeah, no, there's not really anything else worthwhile. Go up and too far, up and over, thank you. And it was all for milk. Oh, okay, milk restores our timer, so that's actually pretty cool. Worthwhile power-up to pick up, then. And this tank is indeed rather stronger than the previous ones had been, so that's a nice thing as well. Fortunately, this is the kind of platformer which is just a sort of easy stroll through the game, so I may or may not have much to comment on. Yes, milk. I would indeed like more time on my timer. Oh, that was really easy. I guess it was only the first boss, so it's understandably easy. I just get the feeling that with this game, it won't ever be overly harder than that. And Felix can fly with an umbrella. Maybe that was a thing in the cartoon, I don't honestly know. I guess the power-up line will change from level to level then. It's a good way of keeping things interesting. And we throw baguettes to attack the enemy. Oh, and they disappear after a certain amount of time. That's bothersome. Ooh, what are we in now? Hey, plane! And we shoot, bullets with, like, rotating saw blades coming out of them. Well, that was a pretty short level. Oh, aw. I was hoping for more of the balloon stage. That was more fun than the regular platforming stage. Oh well, back to the tank. Firing clown face cannonballs. And there on the wall shooting dog heads. And this game is creative, if nothing else. No. I'm kinda curious how this game will develop in the later stages, since so far there hasn't really been anything overly taxing, nothing really truly difficult. Like I mentioned, it's just a sort of stroll through type of game where it's not ever really... Well, yeah, you get the idea. I think the only real difficult thing is trying to hit the enemies. Okay, we've got a dog on a spring, firing giant bullets. And now we're back to the bow car. We can deal with that. Yep, and now we're back to singing Felix, waving the magic wand. Oh well. It seemed like we were at the top of the progression line already, so it doesn't really matter if we have to climb back up it. It's not really too hard. Why is laughing Phoenix... Phoenix. Laughing Felix a thing? Why is that the between-stage cinematic, if you can even call it that? The between-stage thing. I have to say, even though these earlier forms are not as powerful, I like that the attacks are direct. The tank kinda sucks in that aspect. You know, with having the whole unable to shoot straight forward and having to shoot in an arc and trying to line that up. It's just really quite bothersome. And yeah, back to the tank already, so yeah. Climbing the progression line is not hard in the least. Hey, now, that was a hit. I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that there's probably gonna be either 4 to... well, not either, but I'm gonna say somewhere between 4 and 7 rounds to this game. Doesn't really seem like the type that would be overly long. So we may be somewhere from halfway to well over halfway through the game already. But we'll find out as we go. And I should comment that to go up, we mash the A button, And that's pretty much it. Just A button to fly upwards, and B button to fire the gun. Very simple controls. Back to the balloon. That's not quite as good. That has the tank firing pattern, but I think we should be able to find a... well, we would have found another heart before the end, but we're probably not going to fight. Oh, well, yes we are. We're going to fight in balloon form then. Wish I hadn't activated that, but doesn't really matter much. So yeah, tin can robot with jets, firing triple lasers. Again, it's nothing if not creative. There we go. Whatever the... oh, hey, whoa! Suddenly canoe, Felix. And now, Felix riding dolphin. Okay. So, this was unexpected, but rather welcome. New progression line. Let's see which kind of vehicles and or creatures we will end up with. Well, let's hop into the magic bag. See if we can get another form going here. Are you telling me there's only 2 things in this progression chart, and Felix riding a dolphin is the apex of this particular line? You couldn't think of any other things besides canoe and dolphin? Now I'm curious. If we take damage... okay, now we're back to canoe. And no, that is... that is entirely it would seem. Okay, so that's probably the last we will see of the dolphin. Might be a dolphin, might be a shark, might be a fish of some kind. And now we have a swimming stage. Oh yeah, very nifty that they've included so many different playstyles here. Quite a lot better than the average platformer you'll get where there is walking, and then there is also walking, and then just to change things up, there is walking. And if none of the things in this swimming line of progression fire bullets and arcs, I will be happy. I am indeed happy. Very nifty. I don't really care for the points that much. We already have way more points than is necessary. That is a thing with this kind of platformer. Oh, I can't believe I missed that milk. That a lot of the collectibles tend to be just points, and thereby entirely useless. So here we have the points, the milk to extend our vehicle timer, and the hearts to increase our vehicle along the progression line, so that's a decent mix of things. Better than, you know, all points, or all points and a thing you collect 100 of to get an extra life, or 50 or 30 or whatever it happens to be for a particular given game. And we have a C thing, which is firing the word blob at us. Again, very what the hell, but also very creative. Oh, and I'm now being told that there are 6 levels. And I have no dispelled, I just don't care to respond. Also, we're in space. Felix the cat in space. Kinda curious what other things we could be inside of for this. Also, the balloon/plane, the swimming, and now this space stage have all had the exact same controls. So kudos to them for, you know, finding new uses for the exact same thing. They could have had all of these be swimming stages, like a lot of uncreative platformers also do. But no, they went that extra mile and said, oh, we'll also have him in space and in a plane. And that makes things more fun, I gotta say. The added variety really helps. Kinda sad that there is no progression line here. Or if there is one, then they're being very stingy with the hearts. And now we're gonna have to start the stage over again, aren't we? Bother. Should have been save stating. Or at least more than I had been. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work out at all. Too fast with the speed button on in order to react to anything happening. I also wonder... no, I don't seem to be able to adjust the speed incrementally, it's all or nothing. I was hoping that I could just go to like 150% speed or 125% speed, but no. No such luck. Okay, this stage is actually kind of boring. Especially if you accidentally get killed. Stupidly. The music is certainly a big part of the boring factor. There we go. Well, okay. Didn't expect there to be no boss there, but sure. I guess we're now on Alien World. Again with the... should have seen that coming. Yes, again with the terrible music. Yeah, this music is really dragging the game down now. I'm still gonna finish it, of course, but this is making the game a lot less fun. No. Don't know what that giant atom rock thing is, but I'm not gonna lose my tank to it. May run out of time with the tank, but... oh, there is some kind of bad guy. I guess that bear thing was one of the bad guys as well. Didn't really expect random bear head, which there are multiples of, on a wall to be a main bad guy, but... oh, and there were multiples of him on walls as well. I guess that's how they denote bad guys in the Felix the Cat universe. They are the equivalent of those, wall hugger things. No. What am I thinking of? I forget what they're called, but they're in lots of other video games where there are things that ride walls and shoot projectiles. Of course, the best example I can think of off the top of my head are the ones from Power Blade, the wall versions of the leader, which spit bubbles at you. Those at least were indestructible though, so they have one up over the wall huggers of this game. Alright, so now he's sort of an inventor man in the what's in the bag. Really, you're gonna use the same music in here. And can we hop back in the bag? No, doesn't seem we can. But we do have many bags here, what the hell? I guess. And it wasn't quite a random bear head hack if you had actually been watching the rest of the thing. The bear came up in an earlier stage. Now, I wish I did know more about Felix the Cat, either the original or the 90s versions. Although I seriously doubt this had anything to do with the movie, but even so. It would be nice to know who this Dr. Wily-looking fella is, or who the bear is. We can only presume that they are both evil-type people and work together. And that would be it for that. Oh. No, cutscene. And suddenly the end. Do we even get credits? I don't think we get credits. Come on, I know that era was the era of not caring about credits, putting in pseudonyms and nicknames and everything else of that nature, but to not even have credits. So, yeah, no. It's just the end. There is nothing else. Nothing further happens. Pressing all the buttons does nothing. So I guess this has been Felix the Cat. Nice little, very short one-shot. It was actually rather fun. The last couple stages there really dragged the game down once we got into space, but other than that, pretty good stuff. Definitely recommended.